Hello Space Engineers and welcome to this, well, rather wet afternoon here on Hephaestus Prime. Hope everybody's well. Last episode we talked a little bit about what we're going to do today, so I think we might just get straight into it and I'll have a bit of a talk about what we're doing as we go. So first of all, I just have to sort out the grapefruit because I'm pretty sure that's over at Treasure Island at the moment. Just have a quick look. Yep, sure enough, it appears to be there, so stand by. I'll just load it up with some stuff and get it on its way back. So just what I'm doing this year, plan for today, going to build a bit of a drill rig for the Centipede modular vehicle. So that way I can carve out a bit of a alcove to put a battery room in. So that'll be the second part of today. So a little bit to get through today. Now that this is loaded up, I'll just set the autopilots to send it back here. And then we can get on with things. Right. So over here is where the connection is up to the windmill station. And this is where the battery room's going to go. So we've got the storage module here that we can use to work off for the drill head. Now, I was thinking about, do I do the command section next? You know, this has been playing on my mind, so I thought, no, I'll just do a drill head and I can just chuck a cockpit on in the meantime, just a temporary one. And then I thought, actually, no, hang on, we got the flyer attached to the front. I can just use that for the purposes of this first little alcove that we're going to make. And yeah, that'll be absolutely fine. Now I'm just grabbing some resources here to make a start on the drill head. I only need to make it functional for this first little phase. And once it's functional, I'll be able to harvest some of the stone and put that into the refineries, and that should give me a little bit more iron to do all the other stuff that I want to do, because yeah, iron has been a little bit light, the resource, and yeah, that's just self-inflicted really. I mean, I could quite easily break down some more things. I did break down some more of those metal grids, you know, could have plumbed up the drill head, but that's just the way that it's sort of worked out. So once we get through this sort of phase, I think we'll be over that threshold of running out and have the capability to get as much as I need. Now I'll just put a few upward thrusters on here to help with the lift. I will eventually put other thrusters on for the lateral and horizontal movement, but just for now I will use the existing ones because all I'm going to do is just push in a straight line, so that'll do for now. And I'm just going with the small ones. I've got this funny feeling I'm going to have to swap them out for big ones, but that'll do for now. Part of the issue with that is just I don't want them too low to the ground because of where I'm going to put the cockpit on the command unit. It's going to be underneath, so I don't want anything sort of hanging down too much on this drill head. And then I've got these conveyors that I'm just popping in. Now just got to get those orientated right as well, the junctions, because I'm going to have to put some ejectors on, which I'll use the connectors to do that. I'll set them up as ejectors. All that will come a little bit later, but I do just need to plan for them now. Now going for a set of 3x3, so 9 in total, drill heads, and just try and get these in the right place. That's not in the right place, that conveyor I put in. So anyway, yeah, a 3x3 drill head set, and that should be enough to drill and get a fair bit of stone out, or whatever resource I happen to be getting, and should be enough to fit the Centipede through behind it. With this particular first set of drilling, I probably will use it on destroy as well. Now that's something I've sort of struggled to figure out how to do, how to set the drill heads to destroy on a vehicle, but I have done a little bit of research and figured that one out. So again, I'm just placing these conveyors here, trying to future-proof and figure out where stuff needs to go, because they could get a little bit buried and I might not be able to weld them, so. Starting to get a little bit late in the afternoon, and it looks as though the weather has cleared up outside. That's the good thing about this base is now that I'm underground and got lights and everything, it doesn't really matter what time of day or what the weather is. I'm pretty stable in here, so that's nice. So that's the sort of basic layout. So now it is time to get welding, I think. Alright, I think I've done enough to make it operational, certainly for the job that it's got to do. I just put some extra thrusters on top, reverse ones, which I will need later. I was just placing them, I won't be finishing them off at the moment. So I just need to get some preparations ready for drilling here. So I need to put down a little bit of a floor, because I'll just slide it along with the landing gears. So just replacing some of these full blocks along the edge and just putting half blocks in. May as well use a bit less steel. Now I will be having sort of a, well, kind of like a loading dock type look. That the battery room will actually be higher than the rest of the base, than the floor I mean. So yeah, but like a loading dock like you might see out the back of a warehouse, that sort of style. So just making a little bit of a floor here, only needs to be a few blocks wide. And yeah, as I say, it'll just slide along because I don't think I've got enough thrust to keep it up. And also I want to keep it level as well, so this will be the best way. So I'll just continue to put these in and then we'll jump in and get ready to drill. Okie dokie, I think I'm all set up ready to go. One issue that I have struck is I can't see, so just putting a camera in there. I've already got one on the back, but this just putting this one in a bit higher up so I can sort of see the whole back end of the Centipede machine. So I'll just load this up on a toolbar. In fact, I'll just load a couple of other things up on the toolbar as well. Need to put the drills in there for one thing, but I'll just get these cameras on. And then I've got a group for all the drills, which I will turn on and off. And then there's this other thing, using the drill that's in the block tools. Now this is the one that enables you to use the left or right mouse button to either, same as the hand drill, to either mine or destroy the rock. Again, that's sort of one of those hidden facts that's quite hard to dig out if you're learning space engineers. Now I'm just lining up, make sure that I'm straight. Looks pretty good, because it is quite hard to see. So what I might actually do is just even raise this camera up a bit more. It means that it'll probably catch on the top of the roof, but I think it'll be right when I sort of destroy. What I'll do is I'll make a first plunge into the side with the drills on collect on mine, and then I'll pull back out and I'll go back in again, covering the same area with the drills on destroy, so that'll widen it. And yeah, that should allow me to get in no worries. So I'll just get this camera back on the toolbar and then we should be ready to go. Yeah, that gives me a better view. That's good. Okay. So just scraping along, there's all sorts of sparks coming from everywhere. Yeah, I think that front camera is just going to clip as well. Yeah, it just seems to be touching the top of the mine area, so I'll just pull this back out again, and then I'll just do a quick flip on destroy mode. So that's having pressed that number 6 to get in the mode, and then I'm just using the right mouse button to destroy. Now I'm using the left mouse button to go forward again and do some mining. Actually, it takes out quite a lot of rock when you put it on destroy, which I've never figured out before. This is the first time I've actually done it, apart from when I made some little random buggy that I just to test it on to figure it out. But that seems to be working fine. It's certainly dealing to the rock, and I think I'm still getting a reasonable amount. I better just have a look in the inventory actually and see how much I'm getting. Not that it necessarily converts to an awful lot of iron and resource, but something's better than nothing, and when you put a full container load in, it certainly adds up. So that's full already, and the other one's sort of just starting, so it does appear to be a bit of smoke coming out, so I might just check over this and even unload this first load before getting into another set of mining. I think these landing gears might be a bit damaged from scraping. Actually no, the smoke seems to be coming from those thrusters. Yeah, they must just be catching on the armor blocks. The landing gears are alright. I thought they might be a bit damaged, but no, they're fine. So I'll just load up this toolbar with the shutdown things, because it is quite difficult to sort of go in and try and find them in the menu. And then the connector as well. So I've got one on the bottom at the back. There's quite a few connectors there. So I have been quite consciously naming all this stuff as I go, because yeah, there's a lot of connectors, a lot of merge blocks, a lot of stuff like that, so just trying to stay on top of that. Right, we'll just inch forward and try and line this up over the connector. There we go. Lock that in. Switch those to recharge, shut those off, and we'll just have a quick make sure that everything is all good in the hood. Yeah, it's all looking alright. Thing is, I can hear a couple of thrusters still going, I think. It might be the flyer ones, because I did turn off the forward ones on the flyer, so maybe turning the set off, turn those back on. Anyway, there's no smoke coming out, so that's not a bad thing. Just check out the stone. Make sure the conveyors are all hooked up, and yet the refinery is chewing through that. Just have a look at these other ones. They are all the big tunnel drill. And then there's the connectors and stuff. Yeah, that's all looking pretty good to me anyway. I think we'll just let it do its thing for a while. Need to think about the grapefruit as well. It's probably due to what's going on there? There's no pirate base, no antenna beacon or anything either. It's not there. Okay. Maybe the antenna at this end's not turned. Oh, I'll check the antenna, but I think I know what it'll be. It must be flat batteries at the other end. Alright. I'll have to sort that out at some stage. Probably when daylight comes, we'll need to take a fly over there. Although the solar panels will kick in and we should be able to see it on the remote list. Yeah, there's no antennas or anything over there. There should be a beacon or two at least. So that will be a problem to solve later. For now, I'm going to continue digging out this battery room. So I've just given this another good push, and I think we're just about at the point where I need to retract out and then have another go with the drills on destroy. I'll just check this first. See how far we've got. I put that yellow block in as a bit of a marker of kind of where I want the back of the room, but yeah, it's all very approximate though. So that's all looking pretty good. I think we'll just destroy a little bit of this. My thoughts are turning to that pirate base actually, Treasure Island, and that antenna. I'm just wondering if the solar panels are going to be enough to sort of run things tomorrow. I was thinking of just taking the flyer over there for a quick flat. Could always throw the container on the back, but what I think I might do is just work on the command module tomorrow, and then I can fly with that and the cargo unit over to Treasure Island, and then over at Treasure Island I will build a grinder attachment for the front, similar to this drill head but with grinders, and we can make a really decent effort at grinding down Treasure Island. Now just checking the stone in here as well, and it's looking pretty full, is it? Those drill heads are still emptying out, so a little bit further to go. Certainly I didn't bother programming it just for the flyer, as this is only a temporary thing, but the command unit will definitely have to have some panels. And what was that noise? Something just blew up there. There's a bit of smoke coming from down there, but that's just the thrusters. Oh, no, hang on, there's a hole on the floor from the big thrusters. Okay, it's just those single grids, and the ones that are fully welded are all a bit munched. Okay, not completely unexpected, but I would say that that's probably far enough now, so we'll head out of here, I think. Try not to get stuck in the hole. I'll just put it on destroy to get back out. Lots of sparks. What was I saying? The command unit I'll put in command module. I'll definitely put in some screens so I can monitor how much stone or whatever ore and stuff is going into the containers, so that'll take a little bit of time and effort to get that set up right. And once again my thoughts are turning to that command module, the next step as it were, and whether I can get away with just a cockpit, but I think I'm actually going to have to sort of build one, if that makes sense, so I have room for some internal screens, because you're going to have a different screen for each of the attachments essentially. Alright, we'll creep this over to the connector and connect up, and then I'll probably just leave this for a while, and I'll get started on the, make sure we're in the right place, and I'll just get started on the battery room. I think we've got more than enough stone to get going in there. So one of the first tasks is I need to run a little bit of a conveyor into where the battery room's going to be. Reason for this is I want to put a container in there which I can then access. I don't really want to have to go back and forth doing these battery power cells. They fill up your inventory quite quick. Just get rid of that large block. Just am taking down some of these full blocks and replacing them with half ones in certain places. Just trying to be a little bit economical with the steel that I'm using. Not for any other reason than just to be economical with it, and also just keep the aesthetics. You know, if I don't need to use a full block, I'll use a half one. So at this stage I'm only just going to set out the conveyors. I'm not going to actually finish them off, because it's not till I need the batteries that I need them working. Just trying to figure out where stuff sort of goes. So that will end up being one wall where that conveyor is, and other stuff will connect into it. Just put in a bit of a platform here, because I don't want aesthetically to have it all at the same level. I want it to sort of step up, and that means that it's kind of differentiates between vehicle access and engineer access. So I'll just have a single set of stairs to gain access to it, because I don't want vehicles in here. Just setting out the partition wall between the main bay and the battery room. Going to use the half blocks because I quite like the thin walls. Just having thoughts about whether I want the half blocks on the outside or the inside, where I sort of want the half gap, and that's going to depend on where lights go potentially. I do want to put in a couple of windows, so just trying to find them. That group, there it is. It's funny, the group that's got these windows has got these vent things, and I always miss it. So I'll just place these here for now, and then the doors Just want the thin doors, not those big sort of hole block doors. Whereabouts are they? There they are. So I'll go for the offset one. And yeah, I'll weld all these up once I've got the container in here. So I can probably finish off putting that in now. So it's going to go... Just need to put a bit of a wall thing in here. So I'll put one block in here, and then this will be the wall essentially. And although I won't put them in now, I'm putting this conveyor system down this side of the room, and later on I'll probably put in like hydrogen engines or reactors. So I probably won't need them, probably just more for aesthetics, but they will be down here, so they'll need to be plumbed into a conveyor system. So that's where the container will go, and I'll just link up the rest of the conveyor system back to the main conveyor. I think we're just about there with the conveyors now. Should have enough stuff to finish them off. Had to manufacture a little bit, but there we go. So that's cool. Now I can dive into here to get the stuff to finish off these walls and everything up in here. The batteries especially. I mean, I'll just be going back and forth with power cells. So I'll just do these. I may even put a second set of windows over that other side there. And that's the wrong door. That's the one in the middle. That's not the offset one. Alright, swap that over. Right, so that's that sorted. To pay more attention next time. Okay, so next I shall put the floor down. And it's not lost on me that I have actually disconnected the windmills from the base, so nothing's charging at the moment. I'll just get that connected back up now. And then I will lay all these out. So yeah, 2 blocks in from the wall on my left there for the likes of hydrogen engines and reactors. And then just the same sort on the right for the... Gosh, that was a bit off target. Same on my right for the bank of batteries, which I'm going to put, I think, 4 or 5 in just to start with. But eventually I'll have a whole wall of them, I think. So I need to put those batteries in. And I need to put some stairs in the front and a bit of railing. My spidey sense is telling me that this is probably going to take a while, so I think it'll be time for another little fast 40 thing. And yeah, I figure that they're the better way to go rather than sort of cutting the footage so you can still see what's going on, but also not just stare at me do welding and placing or misplacing, as the case may be, blocks for hours on end. And the batteries especially going to take quite a while to weld up. Speaking of which, I should queue up some power cells for them now. I'll put a few in there because they're going to take quite a few. And yeah, so just leave this with me for a while and I will continue to work on it. Right, time for a tour. That took quite a while to organise all that. It felt like I moved everything twice, probably because I did. Except for the sign up above the door that I definitely moved 3 times. But yeah, I had to, this wall, it took me 2 goes to get the blocks in the right place. I've got these hydrogen generators here, just placed them there. I don't have any intentions of finishing them off just yet. Batteries did indeed take quite a while to build. And yeah, as much as, you know, there's all the structural things and where to put stuff, of course, the trickiest thing is what colour to make stuff. And I'm still not really happy with this blue. It looked alright before I put that extra window in, but now you can see it from outside. It just still doesn't look right. So just try a few of these different things while I'm here. Yeah, I quite like that colour, but it's not really working for me with these batteries. What about the black? No, that doesn't work. I think that'll do for now. Yeah, that's not looking too bad, but I suspect I'll be changing that again, because, yeah, usual story. Colour's the hardest thing. So, yeah, got 5 in there. Room for a couple more down the end there. I'll get them in there at some stage. Just coming through here into the access tunnel of the windmills, I've got access underneath as well. So that's just a timer I've got going there for closing the doors that don't have a sensor. And that's the sensor for the front door. But also just some access underneath the floor because, yeah, it's getting quite far, that far end. So to have sort of a bit of access halfway up. And I won't be doing anything else with those blocks. They can remain unfinished in their minimal form. So, yeah, that's all pretty much done now. Well, as much as I want to get done on it. And yeah, really happy with how that looks. So I think that's just about us for today. We'll just have a quick look outside because the sun has come up, but it's still atrocious weather out here. Oh, it's been going all night. Oh, now there's a new, this is the other thing, there's actually a new base, pirate base come up. Fortress Tower. Now that sounds quite ominous. All the other ones that have sort of appeared have been quite small, and the grapefruit's showing again, so I guess the sun's hit Treasure Island and those solar panels are going, so I better just jump in there and have a look at that. Yep, the grapefruit is definitely there. I'll just check the battery. Nothing. Empty. It's purely going off solar power. Okay, what if I turn the refinery off, because that's probably sucking some... It's not a refinery, it's an assembler. Get that right. Yeah, they only suck a little bit, but I guess every little bit counts, so we'll turn those off. Yeah, so that's going to be something that I'm going to have to sort out next episode, is go over there and probably just chuck a wind turbine in or something. So I think what I'll do is continue to work here. I want to just put in a parking spot for the flyer and the buggy so they don't have to keep parking on the back of the beast. And I'll probably just do that off camera. It'll be pretty straightforward to do. And just, yeah, have a think about what I'm going to do next. Whether I'm going to do the thing with the grinders on the Centipede or whether I'm just going to fly over in the flyer. Yeah, so I'll have to have a bit of a think about that. Now, of course, the other thing I'm going to have to do is finish off this drill module as well. So what I want to do is, I think the thrust, I need more thrust. I'm going to have to go for some large ones. So I'll put a couple in the front here and replace those 4 down ones. That should be far enough forward because I want to create a little bit of a undercarriage as a cockpit rather than being above like you normally would be. So yeah, that's probably us, and that's where I'll sort of put the parking for the fly and the buggy. And yeah, so just go and find a spot. No, we won't be going out here because it's still horrendous weather. So I'll head back inside into the warm and dry and see if you can spot the subliminal message. So just leaves me to say thanks everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed today. And yeah, hopefully I figure out what I'm going to do for next episode, and when we come back I can show you a bit of what I've finished off tonight. So stay safe out there and everybody have a good one. Catch you later.